Pankaj Kumar IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Revenue Department, Government of Gujarat, to come forward and enlighten us all. Thank you.
Can you put the presentation on? Yeah. Shri Kamal Singh, Shri A. Babu, Dr. Davaya, Shri Pal Singh, all the awardees, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me give thanks to Kalam Center and Shri Pal Singh for giving award to how many? 10 from Gujarat, right? Yes. So, if not more. So thanks to you, to the center. And there's an advice also. These days, a lot of international conventions are happening in Gujarat. And you have so many awardees from Gujarat. So next edition, you can host in Gujarat, in Gandhinagar or Ahmedabad. Talking about reforms in revenue department in Gujarat, last couple of years, series of reforms have taken place. All the land records were computerized, digitized, and they have been put into public domain. All the mutation entries pertaining to land, that is online. Maps have been digitized, resurvey is almost complete. Even the registration of the documents is online. So there is a gamut of reforms which has happened there over the years. But then, 8 minutes, right, Season Pansi? 8 minutes, 10 minutes. So it's a long list. So today, I will confine my presentation to just this topic, social media for accountable governance and citizen engagement. All of you know the way social media is growing in India. I would just like to add 2 points. One is mentioned here, one is not mentioned here. The number of smartphones today is 180 million in the country, and by 2020 it is going to increase to 690 million. And second is, which is written on the right hand side, that this penetration of social media is urban centric, but the gap is very fast narrowing down. 3 times annual growth is there in the rural areas than the urban areas, and this has tremendous implication for the policy makers. Social media is going to become a very, very powerful tool to increase the outreach for the government to target the last mile person sitting in a very, very remote area. Accountable governance and citizen engagement, they go hand in hand. Citizen, they want very accountable governance. Government wants its governance to be accountable, and that is possible through citizen engagement. So it's a win-win situation for the government as well as for the citizens also, and this is a great lesson which all the government authorities must realize. They must try to utilize the social media to involve the citizen to make the governance very, very accountable, increases accountability, reach, transparency, connectivity, and the administration through collaboration that emerges. It creates the means to improve governance, open up access to government and officials, save time and money, creates new ways of working, and this prevent misinformation. This becomes very, very important in a crisis situation, in a disaster situation. So now I am coming to the thick of the presentation, which is about flood relief management in Gujarat and role of the social media. Last year in the month of July, second half of July, Gujarat was met with unprecedented rainfall. There were areas which were getting, go through some of the tweets. Little bit of Gujarati you can make out. Not very different from Devanagari script. I think in nutshell that summarizes all that we did, utilize social media for flood rescue, relief, rehabilitation work in Gujarat. There is a very interesting part of it. In the month of June, when I was given the responsibility to lead the revenue department, in my earlier postings also, be in the transport or health, I was using social media for citizen connectivity. Some of the collectors, they were very active, like Collector Kutch is here, Ramya Mohan. When she was Collector Balsar, she was very using, Collector Ahmedabad is also there. But then somehow the department was not able to utilize their capability of using social media. And there was another set of collectors who were not very active, some were passive. So it took 1 month, and it was, I will not say it was a big challenge, but yes, it was more of persuasion, motivating them. To some of them, it was from the basics, how to tweet. After all, tweet is, one has to be very, very careful about handling the Twitter accounts. We in the subsequent interaction, if some of you are interested, then I can tell you how it was possible to bring all the collectors on the platform. And then, only a couple of days ago, we have now put all the SDMs, all the deputy collectors of the state on the Twitter. And we call Mamladas, which in North India are called Tehsildas. They head the taluka or the tehsil. Around 200 of them are already on the Twitter, and in coming few weeks, so the complete gamut from the collector to the Mamlatdar will be having Twitter handles. And these are the people who represent the government at the district level. So imagine the outreach which is being created for the government and the forum for citizens to get engaged with the government. So this two-way process already it has brought a lot of changes in the administration, and more changes are going to happen. Coming to the flood, you saw those tweets. So whether it's a question of warning, it's a question of giving alert, precautions, and real-time updates about, if you are in a flood-affected area and you have to go from place X to Y, you are not very sure whether you should start your journey or not, which route you should take, and so on and so forth. So they were finding very, very handy. And the best part was, we encouraged citizens to post the situation from in their areas. And many of the movement of our rescue teams happened based on the posts by the citizens. And that was very, very effective. Thereafter, another very interesting aspect was that they were seeing all the district collectors and the revenue department continuously updating with all the efforts which they are putting into the operation. That was enhancing the confidence of the citizens into the administration that they are safe. They are safe in the hand of the administration. And that confidence matters, that we realized during this relief operation. Third important aspect was rumor. In any crisis, any disaster, because the information is not flowing in real time, that gives lot of a scope for rumor. And the role of media becomes very, very important. And the lessons anywhere, if media is not getting the correct information, then they try to find out information, some sources which may not be very, very reliable. So there is often a criticism, after all, how many followers are on the Twitter. So through this exercise, what is the extent that you are reaching? And I will give you what actually happened. The moment media realized that the real-time, correct, updated information is available from the Twitter accounts of the government officials, and there cannot be as huge presence across the state as the government and the citizens. Since we had roped in government and the citizens, and then collaborating information coming from all the sources, then tweeting it, therefore media channels immediately understood this, and they started following us, and our tweets started becoming breaking news for all the media channels. And for 30 days of the whole period, there was not a single criticism of the government in media anywhere. And therefore, the moment it all got over, that was my last tweet, appreciating, congratulating everyone, and including media. And in fact, if you had seen the tweet of Shri Ravi Shankar Ji Maharaj, so this I will just hold on. Yeah, for the first time I am seeing no one complaining. Instead, people express gratitude for the help received. There cannot be any more compliment. And you see on the left hand side, PMO India, while reviewing the situation, I could see the government of Gujarat responded to the flood situation quite swiftly. PM. And we were getting responses from the citizens that we are ready to assist the government in the whole operation. There is a tweet to that, and so on and so forth. So this was perhaps one of the best examples how social media could be leveraged for disaster management. And after the rescue, when the relief and rehabilitation work started, again we utilized social media very, very effectively. The whole package of the government we made available through the social media. If a special package, various entitlements, and on the top of that, what we said, in case you find any irregularity happening anywhere, in case you find the entitled person not getting the benefit or non-deserving people getting the benefits, you just tweet. And by the time they had seen the credibility of the administration on social media, so there also they were quick to respond, and many such cases we were able to unearth from there. So starting from alert stage to the rehabilitation stage, at every point of time, social media became the most effective tool to complete this. So that is the message. So during this period, 5,000 tweets were made by the government, 3.5 million impressions were there, and 2.7 million mentions, of which most of them were from the public. So it was two-way. Next step is just to institutionalize, make it citizen-centric, identify the priorities, and in more and more areas, you can follow already that is happening. But today, I am just confining myself to how we have leveraged social media for disaster management. So these are our accounts. So that's it. Thank you.